Sea Breeze is calling. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Our format mix will fill ya. We promise we will bring ya all the best around the clock. 24/7. Hot, hot, hot. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Come on over, tune on in. You don't know what you're missing. Feel the breeze, sit back, relax. Love and music to the max. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Check, check, check yourself. Listen to the beats. Crank it up, move your feet. Can you feel the heat? Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze FM is calling. Calling. Calling to you. Sea Breeze FM is calling.
Hi, I'm radio announcer Gwen Redding from 91.9 FM WCLK, and I love listening to Stu and Victoria on Sea Breeze.
Well, good morning, people, and nice to have your company this morning. Yes, International Connections this morning on Sea Breeze FM. It's 9 a.m. here in New Zealand, and of course, we're around the other side of the world, over to Washington DC. It is 5 p.m. And over there, of course, we have got the lovely Vicky Gaither over there joining us in Washington DC. How are you today, Vicky?
Very good, and a very good morning to all of our Kiwi friends, and good evening to our American friends. And if you're listening on the World Wide Web, we always appreciate you being here with us on Sea Breeze. Very cool here in the D.C. area today. The sun was out a little bit earlier, Stu, but the sun is gone, and I think the rain is actually going to return very, very soon. But I have to tell you, I am pouting a little bit this evening. I'm not very happy. Would you like to know why?
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Here is what's wrong. So this American journalist is pouting because I was not invited to the really, really big White House correspondent dinner that's going to be taking place on Saturday at the White House. And this is a big deal. So you've got all of the Hollywood stars are in town, will be there, national and local journalists, but not me. Can you believe that I wasn't invited to the White House correspondent dinner? I mean, this is like the Mac Daddy of the Mac Daddy of the journalism dinners that one can go to.
That's a shame, isn't it? Are you really sure that it was, the invite hasn't blown out of the mailbox or something like that?
You know, I thought about that, and I think those folks there at the White House, the folks in the press department, would probably do a pretty good job of making sure that if, in fact, I was on that list or supposed to be on that list, that I would have gotten a invitation. So it has been pretty windy, though. It very well could have been the wind's fault, and I just, didn't get a chance to get it. But I will watch it on television because it's such a big deal that they show it over here on C-SPAN. And, you not only have a Hollywood elite, you've got, your national journalists from CNN and Fox News, and in fact, all over the world. So it's a really, really big deal. So perhaps we'll get an invite next year, and then I can invite you, Stu, to visit Washington, D.C. and to the White House for the big correspondent dinner. You've got a tux and everything ready, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm all set to go. You can't hold me back. I'm going to come early. I'm coming out.
You're all set to go and to head out on that Air New Zealand flight. But listen, since some of us have to work as journalists in America, we actually do have some news to tell you about. A lethal injection case in Oklahoma that went terribly wrong has put capital punishment back in the spotlight here in America. The botched lethal injection is raising concerns about the drugs being used and the constitutional protection against cruel and unusual punishment. Now, precisely what happened during this execution of convicted murderer and rapist Clayton Lockett remains unclear. Witnesses describe him as convulsing and struggling to speak. His execution was the first time the state used a new 3-drug cocktail. And of course, Stu, this case is under review. What's also interesting about this case, there was another gentleman who was scheduled to be executed on the same day, but his execution was delayed as a result of the botched execution from this other man. So can you imagine what it was like for the second guy who was waiting to be executed, and his lawyers get this call, or the state goes in to say, hey, you know what, we're not going to execute you today, we're going to hold off on that because we had some problems with the last one. But of course, people that are against executions in America are really going to use this case to sort of focus the attention on why state execution shouldn't exist anyway. So everybody's been talking about that. I don't know if you heard about that over there in New Zealand, but it's been really, really big news here.
Yeah, I did. I heard about it last night actually on TV. But thinking about the guy that was in line waiting to be executed as well. Tell you what, he'd be as happy as hell because he'll be able to get his second request for the last meal, won't he?
I don't know, but I'm sure he that could be a possibility that he will get another request.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I read that, and a few of my friends actually covered that, I didn't get a chance to talk to them about the second guy because they sort of had to go off and do their thing. But I just sat there and I thought, man, that guy, either he's the luckiest guy in the world, or he's just like the guy that just like, why are we keep delaying this by another day? Let's just get this done and over with. But I still don't think to this point in time as we speak that he's been executed yet. So we'll have to follow that and see what happens there.
Yeah. It would be a bit nerve-wracking, wouldn't it? I don't know. What the hell can you do about it? Things do go wrong, and obviously they've gone wrong big time there. And the first guy that had the problems, well, he's the one that you really got to think, hell, spells, poor devil.
Yeah, and like you said, things went wrong really, really big time. In fact, what I didn't mention was even the White House weighed in on this execution, so it was a case that made it all the way up to the White House. But we're going to continue on with some other news. The family of the Federal Express worker who police say went on a shooting rampage like he was Rambo in Atlanta, Georgia at his workplace before committing suicide has offered its deepest sympathies and condolences to the victims. So 6 people were wounded at the Federal Express facility on Tuesday morning before that 19-year-old turned the gun on himself. And there again, Stu, ever since that we launched International Connection, I feel like once or twice a week we're always doing a story when it comes to gun violence, especially here in America. It just seems like it's something that clearly our country has issues with and that we just simply cannot escape. I mean, I feel like every single newscast, there's always something about gun violence, and it's just very, very sad.
Well, it's America, isn't it? Let's face it, it's America. And the ladies, what do? They put on the jewellery, and the guys strap on the hardware, don't they? It's as simple as that.
Well, I will certainly say I do love jewelry. I have quite a bit of it, so I will have to admit to that. But no, I mean, Americans, we love guns. I mean, if you look at our culture, at our society, and movies, every single thing about us says guns. So I certainly cannot deny that we are a country that loves our guns. So some more news, and we've been following this, and you can't escape this particular story nowhere around the world. LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling isn't going down apparently without a fight, Stu, over his team. A few days ago, of course, the NBA banned Sterling from the game for life, fined him $2.5 million, and is basically asking the board to force him to sell his team. But according to an inside source, Sterling will sue the league if the other 29 owners vote to force him to sell. And this all happened, of course, after he was caught on tape making racist remarks about African Americans. Now, meanwhile, Stu, many famous African Americans are looking at buying the team or showing interest. That's rapper P. Diddy as well as Oprah. And I think up until press time, as I'm speaking, there's been a few other people that have come forward to say that they may be interested in buying the team. But actually, that doesn't surprise me that that he would sue them over this. So that kind of seems like that's in character to what Donald Sterling would actually do.
Tell you what,
sure.
It's amazing. He has made just as much news here in New Zealand as what the Royals did when they were visiting.
Really?
Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. That's surprising.
Yep, he's made just as much news, headlines here in New Zealand as what the Royals did when they were here for, 9 days or something, I think it was. Yeah, unbelievable. So it just goes to show you racial marks can really bring it all to a head, can't they?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the reason why it made news and it's still making news was because what he was saying on the tape was just so shocking. But I also saw an article that talked about that what we actually heard or what was released to the media was only 10 minutes of, I believe, a 45-minute or an hour-long tape. So I have a feeling that eventually more of what he said is going to trickle out, because that's generally how we Americans like to do it. We'll give you a little bit and say, oh, but wait, there's more. So I think eventually we're actually going to hear more of what he said on that tape. But, of course, we're going to continue to follow that, because if he plans on suing the other 29 owners, then, that's going to be a big hoopla as well. And then once you go to court, then that's another whole, story unto itself. So we'll continue to follow that. But right now, I know, Stu, we're going to take a break. We've got some music that we're going to listen to, as well as a station ID, right?
Yes, that's right. Almost 15 past 09. Almost. It's 9:14 here in New Zealand, which is 5:14 over there in America. And you're on International Connection. And got a little number here from a girl by the name of Amy Barbara. Yeah, Amy Barbara, I think it is. And she asked me if I'd like to play this song on International Connection. So, Amy, if you're listening, here it is. It's called Walking on Sunshine. It's next here on 88 FM.
Good morning, New Zealand. I'm Michael Kay, entertainment co-host for At Home with Victoria on the Blog Talk Radio Network in America. And you know what I like with my morning coffee? I like a little International Connection with Stu and Victoria, only on Seabreeze FM.
Suzanne takes you down to a place by the river. You can hear the boats.